Hi guys, this is Chris Hui. Welcome to my channel. I am working on my typing skills and I'm now about to type my girlfriend, Yuki. How long will we be dating? I don't know because things get rocky. But, so she has claimed, AI claims that she is an INTP. So INTP and ENTP are claimed by AI. So I gotta pay special attention to these ones. She has claimed that she has been an ESFJ. She claims that she has been an ENFP. When we met, she claimed she's an ENFP. There are times I thought that she is an ESFP. She identifies as a 7 wing 6. And if I remember correctly, they're called the hedonist. So some of the things I'm going to say in this video are totally TMI, but it is what it is. Okay, so right off the bat, out of the gates hot. I'm an IFJ. She's not an INFJ. She has no feeling of that being called, that grand vision. She does not Tauhausinga. She does not try to. She's not willing to sacrifice how she feels to make other people feel better. So yesterday we got into a fight where I asked her, "Hey babe," we were at the night market. I said, "Baby, we haven't talked in a while. What would you like to talk about?" She's like, "Oh, don't waste time. If you want to talk about something, just go ahead. What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind?" I said, "Are you sure? Last time you said you don't want to talk about MBTI, and recently I just made 3 long videos about FI users about MBTI. Would you like to talk about this?" And she says, "Sure." I start talking about it, and then suddenly she's like, "I'm not feeling good." We go in the taxi. She's on her period. The weather's hot, and I'm trying to talk to her about what I'm working on, the 3 videos. And then suddenly she stops me and she shouts, "I hate MBTI. I don't ever want to talk about MBTI again. I don't want to ever hear about what you're working on. I don't want to talk about this stuff." So she hates MBTI. She's not willing to talk to me about what I want to talk about, which would almost certainly kill every single FE user in my mind. Well, I'm not sure, but I think an INFJ would love to hear what people want to talk about and discuss with them on that level. And I'm a great listener, and I'm able to listen about topics I'm not interested in, because I'm actually interested in the person, not the topic. I don't need the so yeah, that wasn't that pleasant. Now, my mom is an ISTJ, and my mom's coming to China, and she's like, "Give me the plan, give me the itinerary, I want to know what day, what time we're going to be here. What is the plan? What is the plan?" The ISTJ is constantly trying, "What's the plan? Let's plan this out. Let's figure this out. Let's get things." They want to reduce uncertainty by creating certainty by planning. That's very J-like behavior. My girlfriend is like, "Hey, let's just go. You want to go anywhere? Let's just go. No plan needed." So it's kind of chill, where there's no. So traveling with my mom is more challenging because I need to suddenly plan a lot of detailed plans with SI and TE, whereas my girlfriend is like, "Yeah, whatever." So there's a couple reasons why she wouldn't be an ISFJ, because I think an ISFJ would. So my girlfriend's very good at cooking, and she just looks at some TikTok videos, and then she starts buying things, and then she just cooks easily. And she can, when we go to restaurants, we've been to different restaurants, like a Hakka restaurant before, where she thought the food that we ordered didn't taste that good, so she like left the restaurant, went to the nearby convenience store, bought some ingredients, and then she came back and mixed the food and created new food and new dishes inside the store. And she thinks that's fun. She doesn't really care. That kind of shows a very big innovative streak about her. She is a designer and she has an arts background. She has a lot of patience when it comes to making art. Not that much patience when it comes to talking. When we live together in an apartment, cleaning is quite the challenge. She brought back a cat. One of the conflicts we had was I told her that I don't want us to have a cat. And then I told her that if we want to have a cat, we need to discuss about that. She would say, yes, okay, sure, we'll discuss about it. And then one day she just decided she just came back with a cat. And then I asked, did you tell your mom about this? And then she lied to me. She said, yeah, my mom said yes to having a cat. And I was like, that I don't believe that. Because her mom and I both are like, dude, your life's already kind of complicated. Like, don't make it more complicated. So she said, yeah, my mom said it's okay to have a cat. Then I immediately call her mom, and her mom's like, what? She has a cat? No, I didn't say anything. Fight. So she's willing to take actions for what she likes, and she doesn't really care how it's going to impact her mom or me. And she can tell me like, oh yeah, I got your mom's approval, but then she could lie about that. And she could also she can be pretty good at like, she's really good at tiagong. Tiagong is like, she's really good at saying things that it sounds good, but that's not the truth. Like one time I was invited by my friend. I was talking on the phone with my friend James and Cindy. And then James and Cindy are getting married. And then we're on the phone call. My girlfriend never really was part of the conversation, and we were discussing because James and Cindy wanted me to be the person that is the MC that gets them married, the person who helps them do the vows. And Yuki overheard a little bit, and she's like, oh, because I was saying, yeah, I'm not feeling up to it because I feel stressed out because if I do something wrong, I'm going to mess up your wedding, and that's an important day. And then Yuki then stressed how, oh, Chris said that you're his best friend, and I see him every day practicing and looking at the wedding materials in preparation for the wedding. And she said that, and it made the Cindy and James really happy and be like, wow, look, he's taking it very seriously. But actually, my girlfriend never saw me actually prepare for like wedding stuff, and I never called anyone my best friend because I don't know who's my best friend anymore, because I thought I had a best friend, but I don't think so anymore. So I don't really know how the word best friend works. And I wouldn't call people best friends because I think it creates weird expectations. Like, I don't want to call people best friends when they might have a friend that's even closer to them than me. So I'm just trying to be a good friend to people, even though I seem to fail at it a lot. And I have a lot of issues. So, in terms of cleaning the apartment's like we have to force ourselves to clean. Like, we don't like cleaning. Like, to be honest, it's a real struggle because they got the cat. The cat messes things up. There's like, the girlfriend buys so many like toys and these food things for the cat to chew, and the cat's like chewing and bringing it all over the place. The cat has had like fleas, and we're trying to kill them. And it's like, honestly, I think my girlfriend thrives on chaos, whereas I think the ISFJ is someone who thrives on order, someone who prefers. The ISFJ is someone who tries to care for people, who likes to take care of people's feelings. Actually, their emotional state is heavily influenced by others' emotional state. They have a few very good friends, and they don't really proactively make friends. Like ISFJs are very passive when it comes to friend making because they take friendship so seriously, like a responsibility. I think my girlfriend makes lots of friends, but actually she has a few best friends, and there are quite a few people that like her as a person. And she has a lot of male and female friends, but my girlfriend also told me a sentence. She says, "Oh, when she is hanging out with people, she acts like she cares about them, but actually she doesn't really care about them. So she acts like she cares about people when she's with them, but when she's not with them, she doesn't really care about them." So this makes a lot of people like her, which is really funny because I realize that I act like I don't really care about people in front of them, but I actually care a lot. And so a lot of people, I think, get confused and miss signals. So basically, if you want to be popular and you want people to like you, basically you act like you care about them when you're in front of them, and when you're not in front of them, you just do your own thing and care about your own stuff. But I've seen that one of the biggest fights that we had was my girlfriend. There was a bar. One of her friends opened a bar, and me and her went to the bar to support her friend. And then in the bar, one of the owners of the bar's cousin is my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. They were in the bar, and the ex-boyfriend shoulder bumps my girlfriend. Then the ex-boyfriend and my girlfriend fight outside of the bar, like talking, verbally fighting. But nobody knows what's happening. It's like we don't see the shoulder bump. I go outside, I ask her, what's happening? Who is he? My girlfriend doesn't respond. So I ask the ex-boyfriend, who are you? And she says, ex-boyfriend. And so I try to talk to the ex-boyfriend. Then my girlfriend gets angry, shouts at me, and pulls me and says, "Don't talk to the ex-boyfriend." And she wants me to stay inside while she is cursing out the ex-boyfriend. Ex-boyfriend's friends all come out, 8 people, and then I go outside. I'm trying to get a balanced perspective on what's happening, and my girlfriend is throwing a huge tantrum, crying, and saying, "I'm going to sue you," blah 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 blah, and we don't know what's happening. We're trying to comfort her, but she's just getting ballistic and angry. She doesn't care about how anyone feels at the time. And the ex-boyfriend is eventually leaves. The ex-boyfriend's friends talk to me. I ask them, like, how much did my girlfriend say is true and false? And we were discussing about things. And I'm telling my ex-girlfriend, calm down. Like, we came here to help your friend's business get better. And we're not supposed to fight like this in front of and cause people problems. The business owners, they basically said, "Don't worry, they said it's they want to create a happy, friendly environment, so they ordered a lot of food and gave me and my girlfriend free alcohol, and everyone started talking and having fun again." Also, my girlfriend's brother was there too, so I was talking to her brother at the time that she started fighting the ex-boyfriend. Then later, my girlfriend talked to her friends, like one of her roommates came and visited us, an INTJ. She told the INTJ what happened, and the INTJ and her basically said, "Oh, you were a bad boyfriend. What you were supposed to do is you were supposed to stand up with me and curse the guy out, and you're supposed to listen to me, and because you didn't listen to me, and because you were trying to seek neutrality and talk to the other side, you are a traitor, and you make me feel angry, and because you make me feel angry, you cause me emotional damage, so you need to make up with this. You need to 哄me means you need to spoil me, you need to buy me gifts, or you need to do something. Like, you need to give me compensation, because what you were supposed to do was you're supposed to either verbally attack that guy, or you're supposed to stay inside and listen to me, but you did neither, so you made me more angry, and I'm angry, and now it's your fault." This is what my girlfriend and her friend said, INTJ, and they said, "What gift are you going to buy me?" Like, and I was saying how, wait, I want to be in a relationship where, okay, what happened? Fupan means to replay and discuss what happened. What actually happened? When what actually happened, Yuki had her perspective. I had my perspective. Neither perspective is better than the other perspective. Both were... So there's 4 perspectives. At the time, she had her perspective. At the time, I had my perspective. And we acted on it. After, when we discuss, you have your perspective and I have my perspective. But I think we should have male and female equality, 男女平等. All the opinions of the male and the female are equal. But at the time, what happened? They were equal opinions. afterwards, what happened, like my opinion and your opinion, they're also equal. So I'm seeking clarity. What is your opinion at the time? What is your opinion now? What is my opinion at the time? What is my opinion now? And discussing the advantages and the disadvantages and trying to negotiate what was the best thing to do. And later on, we came up with the idea that, because we talked to our friend Hanks about this on our podcast, is that the best thing to do was to actually take a cab back home and then discuss, like immediately take a cab back home and say, we have a code word, Hanks, 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 means take a cab back home, and then we'll discuss in the cab later what we should have done. And we have another code called Winsu, which means we will not talk about it now, we'll talk about it tomorrow. So that was a long story, but an ISFJ would care so much about how other people think. They could not go angry, ballistic. Oh, and the INTJ thought that I was at fault because she thought that what I was supposed to do was I was supposed to calm and cuddle my girlfriend when she's angry. Actually, my girlfriend's anger level was so high that no amount of cuddling would have helped. She was screaming at the top of her lungs and she was really cursing and stuff like that. She'd gone to like a hysteria. I think an ENFJ, and I've actually met two ENFJs. Zoe is at one restaurant here in Chenzhou. She's the daughter of two restaurant owners. She's an ENFJ, and a Hakka restaurant owner. You know, this is another interesting example. Her mom is an INTP, and her mom opened a real estate store. Like, she has a real estate office, and right next to her real estate office is this restaurant, and this restaurant is a Hakka owner restaurant. And this Hakka owner restaurant likes me and I like him. Because first of all, I have Hakka ancestors, so I also want to talk and become friends. As an ENFJ, he likes to talk about philosophical topics, and he also wants to connect. Now, one day, the three of us were eating at the ENFJ restaurant, and the ENFJ said, "Oh, if you find any ways to make money, let me know, because I'm trying to find new ways to make money." And my girlfriend's analysis was, this guy's untrustworthy. He's trying to PUA you. PUA is pick up artistry, which means he's trying to manipulate you, your feelings and emotions. Basically, he's an ENFJ who's using FE and trying to influence my emotional state using FE. And what's interesting is, so she and her mom both don't like this restaurant owner, even though all he did was act friendly. And basically try to connect at an emotional level. They didn't like connecting at an emotional level. And so one day we go to his restaurant, and we both agree, wow, his noodles are really good. The restaurant owner says, "Oh, what is your relationship to the real estate woman next door? Because I see you come often." And it's obviously a daughter-mother relationship, but he asks this question, and my girlfriend's response is, "Jala. Jala is like, so what? What's the point of what you're saying? Jala." So basically, a person's trying to start small talk. "Oh, what's the relationship between you and the neighboring?" So they're kind of putting an olive branch out. Let's build a relationship. And my girlfriend straight up cut that relationship on the back. Like, this is the store that's right next to her daughter's store. And then I asked, like, why wouldn't you guys want to be friends with the neighboring store? Like, they're actually like right next to you. And my girlfriend's response is, "My mom doesn't like making friends." And then says, like, it's so weird because the idea of building relationships and connecting with people, it's an ENFJ way to do. Like, ENFJ is trying to create connection. I saw my girlfriend reject connection with an ENFJ. And even Zoe, we went to Zoe's restaurant. Zoe is my favorite restaurant, one of the healthiest restaurants. Don't even know the name, it's not even on a map. It's near Meinan Hua. The thing is, at nighttime, the restaurant owners are a married couple. They every day they produce very nice food, uh, and then at night their daughter will come and eat with them out at the restaurant. So a few times they came at night. I met their daughter, and their daughter is a clear ENFJ. I typed her. She's typed as ENFJ. We did a lot of interviews. We even did some podcasts, and we had a failed recording, which still makes me sad. Is I had a recorded conversation with her. It was really really good, but I did not actually record it. So that's a big fail. So the Zoe and I are talking so much about so many topics. She's interested in the news, politics. She's interested in. She's testing for the civil servant exam. She's interested in my perspective. Like, how do you think about the White House, the American visit, Elon Musk to China? And I shared my opinions, and I had some controversial opinions that I might film about that in the future. And my girlfriend, this is something we also have conflict is whenever we're talking with people, like let's say Zoe and I are connecting really well, my girlfriend would sit right there and just play on her phone, and she'll dip in and then she'll dip out. She'll dip in and dip out. And usually she's not paying attention at all to what people are saying. And sometimes when someone says something, she'll just butt in, and she has this habit. If people say, Ran Hona, like people just said, and then like people haven't finished talking, my girlfriend will go in and boom, monologue. She'll just capture the mic. And I've found that my girlfriend either talks too little, like when we're talking as a group, she's either not really participating, or she'll hijack the microphone and she'll talk a lot, and she'll do an SI. SI is when you're telling a lot about your personal stories and just getting really detailed. And she's like either not really having conversation, or she's oversharing about her life. And she said she has a huge preference for one-on-one conversations. And I found that a lot of people actually look up to my girlfriend because before she graduated, she started her own business, and she's already been financially independent. Almost, you can say she's basically financially independent, but she like basically has been almost financially independent. So she's been making money, and so she comes off across to other people in China as a confident, gregarious, lively, I don't give a fuck what you think, talented, artistic, designer, creative, skillful, extroverted, come from like a rich family. So she gets all these kind of like feeling vibes, even though they're not all true. And a lot of girls admire girls that don't give a shit what other people think. So like FI is on the rise, because FI is like, I like this and I don't like this. I don't care what you think. Like what you think doesn't matter as much. What you feel doesn't matter as much as what I feel. Because a lot of people in China try to guilt trip you, brainwash you, and whatever. FI is presenting a shield. It's like, I'm not gonna let you. I'm gonna be me, and I'm not gonna let you influence me too much. And she shows TE as well. She gets things done fast. When we're walking in night market, she tells me this, like, hurry up, speed up, you're too slow, you're like sometimes I'm like, let's say I go to the night market, I just like want to walk around and say, I want to walk around and just walk around and I want to first see what's there, look at everything, all the choices, and then choose. She's like, I look this, it looks good, I want it. I'll look this, I want this. So it's really weird, because sometimes she can go to the night market and the first two stalls she sees, she buys something, and then later you eat it, and then later on there's something even better, but you can't eat it anymore because you're already full. So this has been a tension where she is meandering shopping style, where I want to go there and just look first and then slowly choose. I want to do things nice and slowly. She thinks that's annoying, like, why are you so slow? Why are you doing things so slow? What's going on with you? What the heck? And lately, she could actually stay on her phone, and there's a game called like The Empress, Road to the Empress. It's about Wu Zetian. There's a game on iPhone about choose your own adventure. It's a game, but it's actually like a choose your own adventure book where there's a video footage. You choose a choice and you choose another choice. She's like, baby, will you buy this for me? And I bought it for her. So what's really weird, and this is a weird story too, is really weird, is that the game itself is $9.99, but in the game there's 50. When you once you buy $9.99, you need to buy 50 to play, or you could buy 88 for the full. So she's like, baby, can you buy the 50 for me? I said, okay. And I said, why don't you ask me to buy the 80? And she's like, okay. So I said, I'll buy the 80 for you. But you need a guess. I said, I have my right hand and my left hand. I put a ball in my right hand, and I said, right hand and left hand. The ball is in one of the hands. If you guess correctly, I'll buy the 80 for you. And then I put it behind my back. She agreed to play the game, and when she guessed wrong and she didn't get it, she got so angry. Then she says, yo, you don't want to buy something for me. And I was like, what? No, I want to buy for you. I just want to turn it into a game. So then I was like, okay, fine, play again, try again. So then she tried again. Oh, I said, the hand with no ball, I'll buy 50 for you. The hand with the ball, I give 80 for you. Expansion pack. And so what's weird is I'm offering her basically exactly like, so she wanted me to buy the 50 originally, and I'm offering, well, you can choose, you can win the 50 or you can win the 80 based on if you're guessing. And she got angry when she got the 50. She got angry that she didn't get the 80. And so I thought that was a little bit of a, she's very quick to get angry. And that's why I think she's not an ENFJ. I'm sharing a lot of these stories because, very soon I'm going to go traveling. I'm going to forget all these stuff, and I don't have a good SI, so I'm not going to remember a lot of the stuff. So I want to record. I'm like spamming out. It makes me uncomfortable talking about all these stories, but I did want to get through this. So INTJs are really, really busy. They're very single tasked, and I had podcasts with them, and different vibe. Like INTJs, they do like to talk, but they like to talk a certain way. They have a lot of rules of what you can and cannot do, and they live by these rules, and they want other people to also follow these rules, and they get bothered easily and triggered, which I call the critic. They get triggered when people don't follow the same rules that they do. So they actually kind of look critic. INTJ tends to look down on all kinds of people because they just trigger. They're like, how can these people be so stupid? How can they waste this time? And I've found some INTJs care about the sentence structure of how people talk. And all the INTJs who showed up on my podcast, they wanted to have, okay, what is the script? What is the topics? Show me the draft, or they wanted some kind of structure, like 15 minutes this topic, 15 minutes this topic. And I actually found it kind of a real challenge to talk to INTJs on the podcasts. Whereas my ISFP friends are like, we could just talk about anything. We could talk for how long we want, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, it doesn't matter, whatever, as long as there are good vibes flowing. So being an INTJ needs more information in advance before they decide to do something, and they want to reduce certainty. So the INTJ and the ICJ are out for those reasons. I might call So the longest time, my best female friend in China was an ENTJ, and my girlfriend's best friend is an ISFP. So those can actually be tells. who you're attracted to and who do you get along with can actually go a long way with saying what kind of person you are. My girlfriend did say that I asked her if we hang out with each other for 3 days and we didn't have any interesting conversations about anything, is that okay? She said, yeah, that's totally fine. We don't, if talk when there's something to talk about. If there's nothing to talk about, we don't talk about. This attitude, I think, would never have her be like an INFP or an ENTP. Because the ENTPs I know don't like to shut up. Like, they have so many things they want to say and express and so many views. They're verbal processors. They have a lot of things to talk about and endless topics to talk about. And it's fun to talk to them. They think it's fun to talk to me. They could take the most crazy, zany ideas, but recently I feel like ENTPs have a hypocritical side about them. They separate reality from theory. So in theory, they can talk about all things in the most crazy ways, but in reality, like let's say, if you discussed infidelity, they'll talk about things in great craziness and in theory. But when they are talking about a person who has actually committed infidelity, they might judge them very, very hard. So they might discuss something in the most extreme cases, but actually in their life, they're kind of not anywhere near as extreme as they really are. So they kind of have this difference between what they talk about and what they do. I don't think my girlfriend has that. I don't think my girlfriend is a very theoretical person who switches perspectives and take things in extremely running debates in her head. That's called nehal, rumination, and you have to be quite good at entertaining different ideas and having this desire to communicate ideas and bounce them and have these ideas fight. ENTPs, quite a few ENTPs are attracted to me. They're attracted because the types of conversations we can discuss are so many, and I'm struggling actually having conversations with my girlfriend where if hey, what do you think about this? She'll give me one sentence answer. So basically, sometimes it feels like I pass her the ball and she just drops the ball. Whereas I think an ENTP is like, I pass them the ball, they're going to throw the ball at my head. So they enjoy the back and forth of the discussion. Whereas my girlfriend doesn't really like discussing things unless it has something to do with design. She's good at designing. Recently she went to a design competition and won 3rd place, where they had roommates and stuff like that, and she does like hanging out with people, going out and eating together and socializing. She enjoys socializing, but she steers away from controversial topics, in my opinion. But what she really likes to talk about in terms of design, she likes to learn about what tools people are using, what processes they're using. So she has a creator aspect. So she's a creative person. When she has an idea, she's going to create, she's going to do it, which kind of looks like a ESFP, ENFP hybrid somewhere down the line. My girlfriend has also showed. So, a weird trait she has is for example, I know she worked at Reebok, she worked at like Nike, she worked a lot of jobs when she was younger, but when she when she met like a coffee owner and the coffee owner said, hey, let's I'll be in a partnership with you. She's very easy to jump into a partnership with people. And even though the partnership is very, very limited, she has a hard time, so she told people that she opened a coffee shop with someone when actually the coffee shop just partnered with her and say, hey, if you help bring customers, we'll give you a cut. And then she entered a partnership with, so my girlfriend was an art student. She studied product design, and then this is a kind of embarrassing story I'm going to say. She studied product design, and she in China on the fourth year, so they take classes from year 1 to year 3. On the fourth year, they're supposed to do an internship. My girlfriend chose not to do the internship. She chose to start her own business, and she started her own business. And in the business, she basically is teaching English, and to children. And the thing is, she's a very confident type because I have friends whose English is like 20 times better than her, but they would never dare to teach anyone English. My girlfriend's English is not that great, but the opportunity arose where someone she met wanted to open an education center, where the education centers, they'll have art classes for children and then English classes for children. And even though her English is not that good, she chose to say yes. And then in the cooperation partnership, they basically shared rental space, but the partnership was never written in a contract. And so what happened is the art teachers were not getting a lot of revenue. They weren't generating a lot of customers. My girlfriend was generating even more customers than them. And so they were trying to tell my girlfriend that you need to pay for this air conditioning, you need to pay for that, and you need to share us a cut of the money you're making. So they were trying to pressure my girlfriend into giving them more of the pie. And my girlfriend's conflict with them is that's not what we agreed with. And later on, she broke the partnership with them, and then she's now moving the office to another place. And what I'm saying about the story is my girlfriend's kind of do first, think later kind of person. She wouldn't actually... I might have AI analyze this, and I might make videos and then just have AI analyze my videos and then post a video on AI analyzing these videos because I think it's quite funny, because I don't really know what type she is. So based on this story, what do you think? What does ChatGPT think? She has the conflict. So she would enter the partnership people, things aren't ironed out, later they have the conflict, and then she'll break, and then it's like you do me, and then something that she got really pissed off is the people who she was in the partnership with, they tried to pressure her 2-on-1, like they had a meeting with her 2-on-1, and they were complaining against her. They're saying you're not keeping the tutoring center clean. They're also saying that there are parents who are complaining against you. And then when my girlfriend asked which parents complaining against me, they wouldn't tell. And then my girlfriend had to ask every single of her customers, students, parents who wasn't satisfied. So she wanted to figure out who's not satisfied. She could communicate with them. And then the girlfriend, then those people she was in conflict with then sought one of her aunts, one of her grandma, one of her relatives, and actually spread the conflict, told the aunt of my girlfriend bad things about my aunt, and my aunt was confused. Her aunt was confused, and my girlfriend was pissed. She's like, "This has nothing to do with my aunt. Why are you looking for my aunt?" And the other side want to kind of discuss, and I don't know how because I was not involved in it, but they want to discuss because the city's not that big, but they wanted to discuss things further. If it was me, I would basically say, "Hey, can we discuss with each other and just have a clean break?" Because it's a small city, so if you make enemies, they'll say bad things about you, and it's going to spread bad rumors about you, right? Also reminds me of a crazy time. I was traveling in Hong Kong, and my girlfriend had 2 things she didn't tell me. She had a final project to do because it's her senior year, and also she actually had a commitment to teach students on Thursday, but she was with me in Hong Kong. And these are 2 weird things about Hong Kong is when she told the students, "Oh, I'm not coming in this week," the parents fought with her because they're like, my child needs consistency. So it's like my girlfriend's in the wrong because she is supposed to teach on Thursday. But because she was in Hong Kong, she didn't tell me she had to teach on Thursday. So when she was supposed to teach before the day, she told the students that she's canceling. And then the parents' mom's mad, and this is, I'm angry because you're not consistent, give me a refund. And my girlfriend was basically, okay, sure, give you a refund, done. Like, her way of solving the conflict is, there would have been no conflict if she actually just showed up for class. So she's very easy to throw away students. And then her mom got angry at her, was like, the city's not even that big. Why are you throwing away students that are generating money when they can bring in more referrals? And my girlfriend's like, I don't care. And another crazy thing is, when I was in Hong Kong, Hong Kong University is rarely open to the public. You have to wait for specific days that it opens up. And on the day that she was doing her final project, Hong Kong University was open. And I asked her, I want to go to Hong Kong University. Do you want me to wait? Do you want me to wait for you? Or what? And she said, wait for me, I'll be done. I wait. I check in with her an hour later. How's your progress? Do you want me to wait or go? And the thing is, she completely, she completely ignored me and ignored everyone and just focused on her final project. What she should have done is says, look, I'm very busy. Go to Hong Kong University. I can't go with you. But basically, she had me waiting, not responding, and I'm waiting. And then not only am I waiting and wasting time, I couldn't go, and I should have just gone. So there's these kind of micro conflicts that have occurred. So I do want to go to Hong Kong University when I have a chance. Wow. I think AI would really help in the future to parse through what type. Also, my girlfriend has seen psychiatrists, and she believes she has bipolar disease, which she has shown. At times, she has shown parts of those. When she, like, in the mania mode, she has shown times where she believes she's really rich, and she just starts spending all her money. So she knows how to make money, and then she spends all her money. And actually, recently, like yesterday, my girlfriend did something really smart. She is very much using... So using AI, she made some kind of course material, like posters, and then she put those posters for sale online. And then customers have been buying her posters. So I'm saying that yesterday she used AI to create posters, then she was selling posters online and making money. And I think, as much as I'm saying something's bad about her, I'm not trying to say bad things, I'm just saying the truth. And actually, she's quite... Her mind is fast. When she talked to the parents, she can talk in a very smooth way. She could sell her own classes. And she knows how to use AI and find ways to make money. And at the same time, she doesn't put a lot of pressure on me. So in some ways, she's a very dream girlfriend. But she is... The thing that lacks the most is that deep conversation, and I want that deep one-on-one conversation, the ability to communicate with other people. I value communication. And I also value, I like to say to her, tell me the correct information. 告诉我正确的消息，所以我们可以做正确的决定. Tell me the correct information so I can make the correct decisions. She at times has moments of extreme genius, and then at moments she just completely forgets that she was a genius. Her best friend being an ISFP, she has something similar to the ISFP, but ISFPs have any trickster, which means they're kind of locked in to what they like, and they don't see things from different perspectives. And recently, my girlfriend has been saying things like the most important thing for her is to make more money. And I would say something really weird is true story. Like yesterday, I'm working on my podcast. I'm working on my other projects. And many times she's just like saying like, "Can we have sex? Can I suck you? Can I?" So it's like, actually, her sex drive is extremely high, and sometimes she just like doesn't want to talk and connect at a deep level. Just want to have sex. Just like, let's have sex. Whereas for me, building intimacy and connection is so important that actually when she told me yesterday, I don't want to talk to you about your work or MBTI, and then she says you want to have sex, I just don't even want to have sex because like I feel rejected. I don't feel understood. I don't feel loved, and I don't feel close. It feels empty. So the thing about ENTJs, so my girlfriend has some long-term goals. She wants to go into Hong Kong Polytechnic Design School. She wants to go to Tokyo University Design School, and she can speak some Cantonese and Japanese. So she practices Japanese on Duolingo. So one of the biggest fights we had once early in the relationship was she said that, oh, I want to go to Japan and I want to have sex with hot guys in Japan. And she said that as a joke, but like I knew that she wasn't joking. And there were many times where these are three things, embarrassing stories. They're all true but embarrassing. Is that it's like she rides her electric motorcycle and we go to different places. There are many times she's driven the electric motorcycle and the electric motorcycle doesn't have enough power. So she says, get off the car and just walk. So there's like at least 5 times she's abandoned me on her electric bike. And one crazy time in a nearby city, she said, okay, so she forgot her glasses. Though this is a crazy story. It's like weird story. Is that I was in Hong Kong, and she was in a Fujian province, and she said I told her, can we meet and have dinner? And she's like, yeah, we're gonna have dinner. So she goes to this professional makeup store and gets professional makeup done for many hours, and then she sends all these pictures on the internet about her posing sexy or pretty, and then she promised that we would eat dinner together, but because she didn't buy her ticket in advance, all the tickets were sold out, so she had to buy the last ticket, so the ticket would come at like midnight. So by the time she came, we couldn't eat dinner together, and she had to wear this makeup, but it's like not for me. Like she has all this makeup, but like we don't even spend time together. And on top of it, she sends the pictures, and she spends like kind of like it's kind of like sending pictures and photos on TikTok where you look, your girlfriend says attractive photos on the internet, and then you're like, I don't even want you to wear the makeup because you look better without the makeup, but also what the hell are you doing sending pictures of you with makeup and stuff? It's like 钓鱼, like you're trying to attract other 骑驴找马, you're trying to attract other partners or something like that. And I want to spend time and eat dinner together, but you're taking your time to get makeup, and then you come late, and then you're sending photos, and you're trying to attract other people. So there's a fight there. And then we found out that she left her glasses at the makeup place. So when she was in Hong Kong, she didn't even have her glasses on because she was so worried looking pretty. She couldn't even talk to me and analyze with me. I want to discuss Hong Kong when we were there, but she couldn't even analyze it because she didn't have her glasses. And then her glasses were left in the different city where they have the makeup artist, and then the photo studio. And then what's crazy is that, so she thought she charged her electric bike, but her electric bike wasn't charged enough. So we went to find the oh, we took a bus to a different city to find her electric bike because she left her electric bike in another city without power. So we need to find her bike and then charge the power. And then the person who had her glasses, messaged her and said, "Oh, I've been waiting you for such a long time, and now I have to change locations." And so that means that person with the glasses was in location A, changed to location B, got angry at her because she said that she was thought that they were meeting at a specific time. And this is a trend. Is I saw that my girlfriend under communicates her plans, and so a lot of times people have misunderstandings about what time they're supposed to meet. And the thing is, even though I was just tagging along to come and help, and I was pushing her to get this done, because this happened like on her birthday or the day before her, I think it happened on the day, it happened on her birthday. And I was just pushing her to get this done, so we get the important stuff done. And then she blamed me. She blamed me as like, "Oh, it's because of you that that she's mad at me," and she just get angry and blame me. And I also remember, this is a weird, crazy side story, and it just helps me process. My SI is kind of off, but whatever. Is that on that day on the birthday, we asked her brother, "Do you want to come to the dinner?" Her brother says, "Sorry, I have to go to my class. I have to help my professor stream something for class." Her brother's studying shoe design. And then we called her mom, "Do you want to come eat with us?" And her mom's like, "I'm sorry, I need to go at your grandmother's house to honor a god. There's a god's birthday on her birthday." So her grandmother and mother think the god's birthday is more important than her birthday. And then her dad has the custom of never showing up for her birthday. He just sends him money, and her father's kind of a drunkard, every day going out to drink. And then the person that she invited in the end is, we ate with her aunt's best friend, and her aunt's best friend brought her 2 children, and we had dinner with her aunt, her aunt's best friend's 2 children. And she said she wanted to eat dinner with her because it reminded her of her aunt. And the thing is, her aunt, unfortunately, she was raised by her aunt. Her aunt taught her art, and she thought her aunt was a very forward-thinking person. But her aunt passed away in a very crazy way. Is like, I think 2 years ago, her aunt was highly depressed, didn't want to eat. Suddenly she ate some kind of citric fruit, I don't know if it was like a lemon, but she ate a citric fruit, and it caused serious reaction in her stomach. She was rushed to the hospital, and she actually passed away. And my girlfriend believes that her aunt's death is kind of her fault, because her aunt was a very depressed person, but every time she was near her, my girlfriend was able to make her happy, because she viewed her as a daughter, because she raised her as a daughter. Her aunt had trouble with her work and trouble with her social relationships. One of the problems her best friend said was, any basically her girlfriend, her aunt's best friend said her aunt was an oversharer, and basically would like to grab people at a party and talk to them and just talk nonstop, and never ever consider what the other person wants to talk about, and would repeat the same stories that were really annoying, and basically people couldn't handle it. It kind of sounds like an FISI loop, if I'm being completely honest. She did not find success in her career, and did not find success in her romance, but she was good at arts and crafts, and actually taught my girlfriend arts and crafts. I thought it was fair to include this, because I do think a person's parenting and family resonates with them. Her mother is an INTP who basically give her an apartment to live in. So we live in a separate apartment that her mom bought. Her mom does real estate. And her father, even though he has a drinking problem, every day drinks, he has the habit of every day going out to swim. So he's a very fit person. And a very young man. They're young. Her parents are young. And so Yuki's a pretty independent girl, but her mother is kind of like over isolated. Doesn't like making friends. Doesn't really trust other people, but gets along with me, and is a bit socially awkward. Wants her daughter to get more focused. Really cares about her daughter. Accompanied her to see the psychiatrist. Is willing to. She's really weird because her daughter, her mom, sees her do things that make no sense and confronts her about those things. But when she confronts her about those things, my girlfriend will get angry and upset and triggered, and they fight, and they get very kind of like, I kick you out of the family kind of thing, delete you for your comments. Like they can't seem to have a decent, serious conversation. Like when they're happy, they're like joking with each other and kind of making fun of each other. But then when the mom is trying to express a serious opinion, the girlfriend gets an emotionally triggered reaction, and then starts feeling like, I want to kill myself, I'm going to run away. And then the mom starts saying, I'm going to kick you out of the house. So things go from 0 to 100 way too fast. And so the mom's decision is, I'm here to support you, but I can't seem to get any of my points across. You don't seem to understand me. We can't have a real conversation with you. Her brother is like ISTP, a very artistic guy. They both talk in the TI method. So the mom and the son get along well. But when they're talking to the sister seems to ignore them and not really care what they have to say. And they easily fight, such to the point that the mom, there's one day my girlfriend sent a message to her mom. It was really weird. So like, my girlfriend went to a design competition for 3 days. She got 3rd place, and on the day she came back, the cat ripped the sofa. The mom doesn't like the cat damaging the furniture, and the mom told her she doesn't like that. And then my girlfriend said "kun," which means get the hell out of here, to her mom. And then her mom says, what the hell? You telling me to get out? This is my apartment. You shouldn't tell me "kun." I should tell you "kun." And then I'm in another completely different city. I'm like Hong Kong, taking care of business. And then the girlfriend's mom starts packing all of her stuff and my stuff and throwing them in my suitcases and like putting them in the security guard office. And so a bunch of things are lost because I don't know where the hell they are now. But then my girlfriend then leaves the apartment. The cat is alone at home. So damn, the cat was like a home alone for like 5 days. And then now the cat is a home alone again. My girlfriend goes to a hotel, calls me and cries. Well, I'm actually had a podcast scheduled with the INFG friend. She's calling me, so I have to interrupt and cancel my podcast. My girlfriend is like crying. I try to stabilize with her and say, are you okay? Like, and calm her down. She seems calm, so then I go back to my podcast because I had a podcast in progress. And then my girlfriend sends a message of her on the balcony saying, I'm going to return you. You gave me life. I'm going to return you life, to her mom. And that's a suicide kind of message. And then her mom calls me and is like panicking and said, do you know what's happening, Sally? And then I'm like calling my girlfriend 10 times. She doesn't pick up, and I'm crying and I'm screaming in the hotel because I think my girlfriend committed suicide. And also my girlfriend, her ringtone on her phone is Never See You Again by Kanye West, which basically is like a suicide song kind of. It's like, I'll never see you again. It's like so depressing. I'm also like, call her 10 times and I hear Kanye, never see you again, over and over again. Just never see me again. And I was like crying and screaming. And then the next day I called her, and then she confirmed that she wouldn't hurt herself. And then I rashed my ass back to our city, and she's easily happy and easily sad. And damn, like, the good things about this girl and the bad things about this girl are so many. There are so many things that are good and bad about her. Actually, I think the good actually outweighs the bad, because for my friends, especially my European friends, they might think like, why the hell would you date this girl? Well, when we're together, we didn't know we were like this, right? And when we were getting together, the idea was, I accept things that are bad about you, and I accept things that are good at you, and let's just work together to become better versions of ourselves, and let's work on a relationship. So there was some kind of understanding that we will work on this together. And I'm 33, turning 34. She is 22. She just graduated from university. So there's almost like a 12-year difference, basically. I'm November. She's May. So her birthday came before mine. And she has, in many ways, been a generous girlfriend. Generous in the sense that, like, she likes to make artistic gifts for me. She wrote essays. She bought a lot of things. Like, she'd buy food, she'd buy gifts, and she would take me to the spa. So she shows that she would help me because I'm not good at skincare, so she'd help me with my skincare. So my skin radically improved when we were together. And she expressed she was very supportive of my desire to travel China and Asia and the world, which was a big factor because most of the people I met dating, they couldn't accept the fact that I would not stay in one city for a long time. So part of the reason why we're, like, when we first got together, the thing is we were together the very first day we met. Which, I don't know if this would shock people, but we met online in a language learning application called Tandem. And then we went on the language learning app, and we had to call, we texted, we got along, we called, we got along, and we chose to meet in the city that is in the middle of our two cities. And actually, the very first day we met, the first thing we did was we hugged and we talked, and we actually got together the very first day. And then I don't know if this is TMI, but we in the first week we were together, and we were having the best time of our life. And I told her before we would seriously get together, I tried to tell her the 6 things that I thought were bad about me, or things that were not good about me. And I felt that she have a right to know the good and the bad about me, and she can make an informed decision whether she wants to be together. And she made me feel like she could accept and love the real me. And I could see a much better version of myself come out ever since I met her. I was actually more focused and more confident than ever before. So I really liked how she helped me become a better version of myself, and I wanted to help her become a better version of herself. And that was like in March. Now it's like, is that February or March? I think it's like February. It's almost 4 months now. We met like in February or March, something like that. That's where my SI can speak. I don't really track those dates that well. And it would actually make sense, TI, it could be the trickster, because she doesn't want to talk about MBTI. It has something to do with, like, she looked at like this picture and she'd say it's like too complicated. It doesn't make sense to her. So So I don't think she's an ISFP because her best friend's an ISFP and she herself is... I think she has good NE. Like, she actually goes out there and explores. But her way of exploring is kind of a bit weird, like, because we've been to so many different cities together. We've traveled to many cities together, so honestly, I feel that the way she travels, she's not that interested in people's lives and how they think and how they feel. She's also told me she's not interested in people. She doesn't really care how other people think or how other people feel. So I would take out the ISFP. Because I kind of feel like the ISFP has something about them that's very perfectionistic and very cautious. And even though ISFPs are... I found ISFPs get along very well with me, but they're willing to listen and talk about all kinds of topics. And she came home. I need to make sure that... Hello. So she bought me an ice cream. Yuki baby. Not forcing you to talk, baby. I'm making a YouTube video of me trying to find out which MBTI you are.
真的吗？
Yes.
我是哪个啊？
I don't know, but I've been thinking very hard.
很难啊。
很难.
Okay.
So I'm gonna finish. So I told her that I'm making a video about her. Would she like the things I said? Probably not. Oh, and I had to say something that's kind of an embarrassing story that still bothers the shit out of me. Is that on the day of her graduation ceremony, I have my own graduation story fail, but I'm sharing hers at the moment because I think it's embarrassing, but it might actually be revealing. So this story alone would guarantee she's not an ENTJ and that she's not an ESTJ, basically. Because she lives not on campus. She lives in her own apartment, far away from campus. Like, far. And the graduation ceremony is on campus. And the graduation clothing is actually on campus. So on the day of graduation, they were supposed to have, like, photo shoot at, like, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock p.m. And the thing is, the day before, we had talked with our friends very late at night on a phone call. Because we were fighting, so we were trying to get help from friends. And then, basically, she suddenly decided at like 12 o'clock that she wanted to go to her mom's house to get makeup done. So she starts to do her makeup at her mom's house, and I'm actually in another house as her. And so by the time we all get to her school, it's 1:56, 7 p.m. from driving a taxi. It was one hell of a rush. She had told her friends to give her clothing, her graduation clothing. And she thought that they had communicated the right location. But not only did they not communicate the right location, they started taking the pictures without her. And by the time she got there, she had to take pictures with them, and she's not wearing her graduation uniform while other people are wearing the graduation uniform. Which I think this is a huge fucking fail. But it's embarrassing me so hard. Thank God we have AI. But I'm just saying, my girlfriend looked so good in the graduation uniform because we took the pictures later, but in the big group, it's like, this is the fail on so many parts, is that she trusted her INTJ friend to give her the clothing and get her dressed. But basically, her INTJ friend is already, like, she put the clothing in a bag, and she did not take a picture or tell my girlfriend where the bag was. She just has it in a bag. And then she has been called over and she's taking pictures without my girlfriend. And so there was no, like, this is actually where I would actually really warn people about FI. You have to be very warned about FI. People who have FI, in theory, they're very much in tune with their own feelings, so they might not really feel in tune with your feelings. If my girlfriend had told an FE user, like an ISFJ, not an INTJ, please give me this thing, I'm pretty sure an ISFJ in the same situation would put the clothing in a bag, take a picture, send it to you, and then tell her, hurry the fuck up, they're taking pictures here. Because what happened was my girlfriend was walking in circles for 15 minutes, couldn't find out where they were. By the time she found out they were, it was too late. And the thing is, if there was pictures taken and the drop off point was correct, my girlfriend's plan was to get the drop off, get the clothing on, and then get in. She would have been fast enough, but that didn't happen because she relied on people. She relied on people, and she was overly optimistic. And this is a trait I see in my girlfriend, is she's overly optimistic about partnerships and relying on people, and she's just thinking things will work out. And that's something kind of blindness to SI. This is somehow SI is not being used well, because SI would make sure these details are in order, and it would somehow pre-plan. Like an ISTJ, ISFJ would never run into this problem, because they would take the necessary steps to make sure this thing would never happen. And I think the ESFJ could totally be crossed out from this as well. It's because the ESFJ has the SE and SI in a strong position. And the ESFJ loves being around people. They're not going to miss the pictures. They're not going to miss the time hanging out with people. They want to maximize, hey, let's hang out and be in the group. Actually, my girlfriend didn't really care about taking photos with people. She did take photos with her roommates, but she just didn't really care. My girlfriend was also a kind of top student in her school, because like when it came to the award ceremony, she was getting so many awards. She was called up so many times, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, you're being called up, but other people are not being called up. So actually, my girlfriend, achievement-wise, was quite good. But she told me, like, maybe senioritis kicked in, because years 1 through 3, she achieved a lot, and I actually really think their program is really weird, because the students really grew in years 1 through year 3, but year 4, when they do the internship year, they basically actually don't have any classes, and many of them don't go to school anymore, and some of them just start traveling China. In some cases it's good, because it's like freedom for a lot of students, but in other cases it's like, man, if that 4th year was used as well as years 1 and 3, their skills and their development would be better. So a little weird criticism, but my girlfriend had a serious don't care attitude, doesn't care about hanging out, talking to other people, doesn't care with connecting people, take a few pictures of the roommates, and that's it. It's weird because she does have good relationships with 2 out of 6 roommates. She had good relationships with an INTJ and an INFJ. But I never have really seen them talk, like the way they talk doesn't feel like, because I've hanged out with them, her roommates and her, it's like me talking to her roommates is more interesting than, like, my girlfriend's not really engaging, and like the thing is, the conversation topic that matters the most to my girlfriend is only if she's complaining about me. Like if she's actually saying like, oh, where I did bad, like, or if she's listening to other people. So it's kind of weird, is she doesn't really discuss thoughts, doesn't really but she does discuss ideas, because for example, we have a cat, so I use a laser pointer to play with the cat. She thought of that and immediately started designing something, and how could I design something that makes a cat like a laser pointer cat toy like thing. So she really believes in the speed of designing things and combining things together in new ways. So this is where the problem has come, where it's like, is she an ESFP or is she an ENFP? And also, my girlfriend claimed she had no sense of shame when other people are wearing the graduation clothing and she's not wearing the graduation clothing and she's taking pictures. I think that this would actually take her out of the ESTP, because somehow the ESTP is known to have my brother is an ESTP, is known to care about face and honor and they just care about what other people think about them. My girlfriend doesn't care what other people think about them. So I think the ESTP will do crazy things to get respect from other people, whereas my girlfriend will just do crazy things. She doesn't care if other people respect her or not. ISTPs seem to just think emotionality is like the devil. So they like actually seem to think FI is a demon. So ISTPs that I know seem to be allergic to feelings. Like they just don't like things getting too subjective. They want to keep things as objective as possible and logical. And they're blind spot tricksters, which means they're very good at mastering things that they touch, but they're not that good at branching out and just going in random directions and doing crazy random stuff. Where my girlfriend is very skillful at doing crazy random stuff at random times. So that's kind of a tell. My girlfriend actually communicates a lot of emotion. In fact, a lot of times when she's not talking, she likes doing things. She likes to say, I express love through doing stuff. So she will express, baby, cook food for you, or take care of my skin mask, or give me a massage. And that is something, because we've had sex a lot. So the thing is, one thing about sex is she doesn't. So one of the risky behaviors that we'd probably get in trouble with, these are two traits that I'm just going to put out that make her quite different than other people. So one, she doesn't care if it's sex without a condom. So sex without a condom, she's risky. If it's risky, it's okay. So even for us, whenever her period comes, we are like happy period day, because it means that we got away with not having a condom for X amount of time, and so we thank God. And we're just like, thank you for protection, because we don't want to have a kid too early. But the thing is, she's willing to have the risky type of sex, and that's not too common among the logical types, right? Because the logical types will be like, don't do stupid things that will lead to abortion and to lead to harming your body or having a kid too early. Another thing is, when we had it's really interesting, is that when we had sex earlier in the relationship versus later in the relationship, early in the relationship we were very creative and we did all these crazy positions, and she was very skillful, even though she was a virgin. So she was I was her first partner. She was very innovative with a lot of, and she's just an innovator, like sexually, which in China and Asia, a lot of people are kind of the dead fish, as in they're very passive in the bedroom. Well, no, my girlfriend's not. She's very proactive. And one more TMI detail on this is that in my experience, usually in sex, I'm always on the top position and not in the bottom position, because I don't really like it. But with her, it's like flip, where I'm like in the bottom position and she's the top position way more, and she could have sex like 3 times in the day. And these things it's actually exhausting. It's exhausting for me, because I actually would rather have deep conversation 3 times a day. I'd rather connect at the soul level than at the body level. So those are some problems. Now the INTPs and INFPs, like Kevin, INTP, my INTP friends struggle with SE. SE is a trickster. They just lack the energy to go out and do things and force their own way. I think I think my girlfriend is typed as an INTP by AI is because she asks the AI questions the INTP would think about, but my girlfriend is talking to AI because she's kind of outsourcing her TI. She's basically asking questions and getting the AI answers, and then she's able to, like ESFP and ENFP both are weak trickster of TI. So AI is kind of able to substitute TI, whereas an INTP may not need the AI to ask those questions because they'll just think about themselves. So it is interesting to know that AI thinks she's an INTP because she asks these logical questions. But these logical questions, I think my girlfriend is actually weak on the TI, and so she's actually sourcing the TI and getting it for herself. I think INTP friends, they actually sound like sometimes like you're talking to AI, and they themselves love talking to me about very theoretical topics. It was an INTP who taught me MBTI, and it's Kevin, and it was an INTP who made socionics. So these kind of TI systems really jive with my, as an INFJ, TI third function. So I believe that I connect well with INTPs on the TI Connect. I like socionics because it's so TI. I like INTPs because we can talk about TI theoretical things and I can theory craft with them. Actually, INTPs through socionics have made me realize I love to theory craft. I am actually overusing it. It is my mobilizing function. I am weak at TI, but I love to use it, and I'm trying to get better and better. It's something I value, and my work involves TI. So, INTPs, I think if my girlfriend was an INTP, she would not be so bothered about me talking about things and repeat. I think an INTP could repeat. One of the reasons why I learned MBTI from my friends like Kevin, an INTP, is because we could have the same conversation. Like today, let's talk about INTPs. Tomorrow, let's talk about INTPs. Because we're building an understanding of the world. We're building something internally. But for my girlfriend's type, they don't really use TI, so they can't have the same conversation over and over again because they're not building that thing. And that's that weird feeling. Is like, so when I'm talking to Kevin, he uses TI and he teaches me and I build and I learn. And I use TI and he builds and he learns. So we both are building. We're like, I'm pouring some water on you, you're pouring some water on me. We're both teachers and we're both students. I love that. My girlfriend does not like being my teacher and does not like being my student. So I try to teach her, she rejects. I try to be her student, she don't want to give. And that's like not giving the TI that I want, the activating function. So my girlfriend improved my life in so many different ways. So one of the things that I'm so struggling is like, how much bullshit should a person tolerate in their partner? And how much do we need to accept a person as to what they are and just harmonize what they're good at and just avoid what they're bad at? And what do we rely on our friends for? And what do we source to, or like what do we rely on our girlfriend for? And what do we source to our friends? This is one of the reasons why I'm not trying to give up on the relationship so easily. It's because like, I believe no matter who I'm dating, it's going to be a problem. Like, because the problem's not just the girlfriend, the problem is also me. My girlfriend's problems, as crazy and ridiculous as they sound, saying them out loud. I think if she had her chance to tell you the ridiculous things about me, it'd be a long list. So I think part of the dating and loving each other is to actually accept the crazy bullshit coming out of people's lives and really work with it. In today's day and age, people are not easily getting in relationships because they're not willing to build and grow with each other. I'm willing to build and grow in that long term, and I'm willing to put up with a lot of bullshit. And that's something I've learned is one of my strengths. I'm willing to put up bullshit. I'm willing to just focus and growing on our strengths. And actually, Yuki as a girlfriend, there's so many things to be thankful for. One of those things is she, like you and I want to go to the gym, she's like, let's go. When I want to learn, watch my videos. So the thing is, I have a lot of videos to watch, a lot of videos to make. So when we go to lunch and dinner together, she's like, for example, if I need to watch a video or I'm trying to watch a video, many times we eat together, I'm watching a video, she's watching her own video. And she thinks it's very happy and peaceful. And what's funny is when we're not talking, we're actually both very happy. It's funny, it's when we talk, it's when we fight. That's the truth. And so, can I cross off INTP? Well, INFTPs also have FI demon, and which means that they don't really have good connection with what they like and they dislike. They also weaken SE, but I feel like my girlfriend is she also dresses well, fashionable, without even trying. She doesn't show the INTP sluggishness or stuck in the theoretical or think. She's a doer, not a thinker. And she also doesn't even seek out, like if I watch what videos she's watching, she's not seeking out things that build any deep, crazy understandings of how the world works. She just wants to improve. She is more okay with a more simple understanding of how the world works. So I want to take INTP out because I think INTP is a type that wants to understand the complexity of how the world works rather than oversimplify it. INFP like INFPs are very interested in different cultures and the INFPs I know are interested in different cultures, different views, different civilizations. They're interested in seeing things in different ways, different religions. I find my girlfriend is interested in making that money, staying true to what she likes and dislikes, and she does not have the FISI loop. I've not seen her get emotional about the past. She's not very introverted. She does not turn inward, she turns outward. As an extroverted person, she turns outward more than she turns inward. And I think the SI being overused, it could be the case, because sometimes when my girlfriend's talking, she'll just SI loop it. She'll just start using SI a lot. But I think INFPs are very sensitive. So like when you interact with them, and like the thing is, INFPs are the kind of people that if you hang out with them and nothing bad happened, later on they'll think in their head and they'll replay and they'll find things that were wrong about something that happened in the past. So they have a tendency to make heavy things that were light. I think my girlfriend has Dunganli. Dunganli is like you just don't care what other people think. It's like she went to the graduation. She easily angry, easily happy. What happened in the past, she can easily let it go. However, when she's angry, she can recall all the bad things you've done. But it all comes out at once. I've seen my mom as an ISTJ also do this, where it's like you're angry when but my mom really remembers all the bad things that have been done. But my girlfriend also seems to have the memory storage, but that memory storage of all the bad things you've done, it's like either open or closed. And when it's closed, she's very happy. When she's angry, it's open, and then she'll just say, "You did this. How do you show me love? This." So the SI, the part of the brain that INFP recalls things that makes them angry or sad or upset, it kind of exists in my girlfriend, but it's just, for the INFP, they just easily overuse. It just easily comes out. Just easily. It's like just automatically is coming out. Just the same way as TI wants to come out for me. Whereas I think for my girlfriend, it comes out, but it doesn't come out at the same frequency. And she'll say 是很爽. She'll feel really good when she talks about the past. And she actually gets happier when she talks about the past. She kind of makes fun of the past. Like, this is what happened, and this is what happened. However, when she discussed the previous fights and the previous things that made her unhappy, she'd actually get really angry about it. Like, she would immediately start extroverting her anger. So this comes back to that classic problem. Is she an ESFP or is she an ENFP? Alicia is an ENFP. Aini is an ENFP. I'm going to have a lot more podcasts with ENFPs. And I don't know many ESFPs, to be frank. The podcast is going to be challenging, but actually deep down I think she's an ESFP. Because I think I think the ENFPs I know, they love discussing a wide range of ideas. They love talking. I saw Helen coming back to Hong Kong, to Shenzhen. Like my ENFP friends. The ESFP is known as the opportunist. The ENFP is known as the campaigner. If just looking at those two words, I think the ENFPs I know, they want to make the world a better place. The ESFPs I know, they just want to get money in the pocket because they're way more practical. And the ENFPs are more dreamy, idealistic, and not. They have so many good ideas on how to make the world a better place, but their mind is jumping between so many places. I don't see that with my girlfriend. My girlfriend is very present. And the interesting thing is they both have TI tricksters. They both critic FE. So we have to look at opposing and demon function, which I have to learn more about how that works. At first, I thought my girlfriend was very much any user, any dominant. But I think any users need to like get new stimulation. And the thing is, if any is in the demon function, I want to eat my ice cream. It melts. But so when we look at the vulnerable function, it's weak because it's underused. So ENFPs are a little bit losing track of the details. The ESFPs, NIs, they're not thinking too much long-term in advance. Being NI DOMs, ENFPs have long-term thinking. ESFPs have the abilities to do things very detailed. SI, well, she is an artist, so she has some level of SI abilities, and she does care about her comfort. So SE and SI are still strong. SI is just not used that much, but when it is used, they'll feel good about using it. Just like the ENFP is an NE user, but NI doesn't, seeing the synthesis, the unity in things, seeing the purpose, the meaning, the meaningfulness. The ENFP seeks meaning and sees meaning in things that other people do not see, whereas the ESFP is more of chasing those experiences and wants to be comfortable with the SI. But they chase the experiences more, and it means more to them. And in the vulnerable function, NI, they don't think long-term. And in the demon function, so if, the thing is, does the ESFP actually have a strong NE? And does the ENFP actually have a strong SE? I think that's a very important question to know, because I see my girlfriend have strong NE. So is it possible that ESFP has a strong NE? And it just doesn't look like it. Because it's clear her NI is not that long-term and more short-term thinking. And ENFPs are known to have a lot of energy. So could it be that the SI and the NI are actually valued functions, but they're weak and conscious, whereas the NE and the SE are actually strong, unvalued, but unconscious? Because my girlfriend is quite she has the NE ability to explore, but it's colored by the physical world, the SE world. She's interested in exploring things. She's constantly buying things. She's bought so many things for her cat. She sees something she likes, she buys. She sees something that she wants to go eat at, she'll go. She's a doer and a goer. I think the ESFP is the winning one for Yuki. The reason, and I need to check on what demon function really means, so I do need to check on this demon function. But also, I believe the ESFP lines up with 7W6. And she said the 7W6 is extremely good match. And I think the ESFP is actually a much more riskier taker than the ENFP. Like the ENFP thinks in a lot of ways, but they actually they care a lot about diplomacy. They're green type. And they care about, on some level, harmonizing people. The ESFPs care about getting the experiences they want. And the exploration that they do, the thing is, it's like ENFP, SE, the strong energy, it's not valued, might be in service of their NE to explore and do the thing, like the conceptual exploration. But SE is kind of like experiences, and NE is like exploring things for SE. So I think ESFPs and ENFPs have strong demon functions. They just don't value it. So I think that my girlfriend actually has the ability to explore. She likes new things, but the new things she prefers are things that generate those good SE sensory experiences, which she values very highly. And even though she's very weak in the long-term planning, we do see that she tries to have some level of long-term planning, where she tries to, I want to go to Hong Kong, I want to go to Japan. She will plan it, but she's weak in that area where she's very inconsistent. Like, so even though she wants to go to Japan and learn Japanese, she's not prioritized. She's not doing that as a obsessively the same way as an INTJ might. So thank you guys. This is a very personal and very meaningful video, because it really talks a lot about someone who's important to me, my girlfriend Yuki. Our relationship right now is good, but it goes up, it goes down. Like yesterday, it went from screaming at me to saying, I'm sorry, baby, I'm on my period. I love you, and I'm just going to say that whoever you are, if you're watching, please leave likes, comments. Feel free to engage. I would love to use this system to also type people as well. I think my there's something about the ESFP being able to transform its shape, because if you're truly the opportunist, you could actually change your shape if you have a goal in sight. And that's something that I see my girlfriend has, this shape-shifting ability. The ability to shape-shift, to change, to become what the situation demands. So when she's a teacher, she's a teacher. When she's talking to parents, she become the professional talking to parents. When she's trying to sweet talk, she can sweet talk. So she's kind of I don't want to say a little devil, because she has said something like that. But the devil is able to shapeshift. So maybe the devil's an ESFP. Because I'm saying the devil can actually, in front of this person, they're a Buddha. In front of this person, they're a Jesus. In front of this person, they're a saint. And in front of this person, they become what you want them to become. That's what I would say that a certain type of person can become, and makes them more difficult to type it as well. Because ISFP doesn't seem to become what you want them to become. They just kind of hide themselves because they're kind of in their own world. But ESFP might actually be the type that becomes something that they think other people want to become, and that's what it can make them very challenging to detect. So take care and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.